Hey, what's going on? It is Steph here from stephjking.com, coming to you from beautiful Brisbane, Australia. Today, we're talking about how to make a life-changing decision. Welcome back. Today we are talking about life-changing decisions, and I don't know about you, but sometimes I can overwhelm myself with so much information trying to make a decision that I just make it 10 times worse for myself. So today I am actually coming to you to talk to you about how I've recently come up to a bit of a crossroads in my life, and I've needed to make a decision, or actually I'm about to need to make a decision. And this is something that could change an area of my life quite drastically. Both options obviously have pros and cons. So I just want to share with you what I've done in the past few days to be able to help me make a decision, and also a few mistakes that I used to make in the past and what I've done to be able to rectify that today. So let's get real here for a minute. Deep down, we know exactly what it is that we need to do. Whenever we have come to a situation where it's a crossroads in life, or there's options put on the table for us and we need to pick one of those options, most of the time, deep down in our gut, we know exactly what it is that we want to do for us and what means the most for us. What I find is, I've done this and I've seen other people do this, is they let external contributing factors start to question their own decision-making skills. So for example, a lot of people know what they want their future career to be, yet they let people, maybe parents, maybe teachers, maybe their spouse, give their own advice to them, and they start to think, well, maybe this isn't the right avenue for me. So I see a lot of people that are encouraging their children to go down a particular pathway for their career, whether it's being a doctor or learning a particular skill, yet that person actually has a passion for something else that's completely different, yet they're afraid and fearful that if they don't take the path that people expect them to, that they're going to end up disappointing others. But my advice for you there is that if you do feel like you're in this kind of situation where you're letting other people contribute to your decision making, then if you decide to do something based on someone else's opinion, advice, or based on the fear that you're going to disappoint anyone else apart from yourself, you are going to end up hurt in the long run. This is your life and not anyone else's. So making a decision based on your best interests, what you're passionate about and what you love to do, is the best thing that you can do in any of these types of situations. So the first thing I do is I do actually enjoy getting other people's advice. It's something that I've done all the time. I just like to hear different points of view and just other people's opinions. This was probably one of the biggest mistakes that I've done in past life decision making, and that's because what happened was, even if it wasn't a person, even if I was Googling, I found that all this information was coming into my head and it was overwhelming me, because then I had even more options or even more things to consider than what I originally started out with. So my first tip is to make sure that if you do take advice from someone or something, that you also take it as a grain of salt. When it comes down to it, the decision that you make is going to be the right one for you. So you can take on other people's opinions and what they think is going to be best, or what they believe would be best for you. But at the end of the day, the decision is purely up to you, and you need to go within and understand exactly, coming from your stomach, your intuition, what it is going to be the right decision for you, and choosing that path. Another thing I do is I make sure I'm really conscious about my thoughts and the words that I'm actually using, either in the way that I'm talking about the situation or what I'm thinking about the situation. So if I'm using words like I should, or Yeah, I have to. Those are words that you're using because you believe that that is something that you need to do and not necessarily something you want to do. Whereas if you're using words like I'd love to, I'm excited, I want to, all of those are really high vibing energy words. And you know that if you are using those types of words, that that's probably a good indication that that is something that you actually want to do versus what you think you should do. And this is something that you can do in your journaling as well. So if you're not very good at like stopping and catching yourself, either the way that you're talking about it or what you're thinking, then maybe getting it out of your head and onto a piece of paper is what's going to really help you. And I use journaling to really help when I feel really stuck and just confused, because we all get this way sometimes. I know for me that I can overwhelm myself so much with trying to make a decision that it actually makes it worse, because then my mind is so full of information and emotion that I don't focus and have a clear decision-making process. So for me to be able to battle that, I get my journal out and I start writing, and I write in a way that I know that I can be 100% honest with myself. And that's the aim of the game here, is to live your life based on you, making sure that the decisions that you make are in alignment with who you are deep down, and you're not using other people's opinions or advice or thoughts on who you are and what they think you should be doing. Because at the end of the day, this is your life and you need to make sure that you're happy. So taking control back and making decisions for yourself and being okay with that, that's really what I want to promote here, because I want you to be happy and I want you to make the right decisions for you and not let other people's opinions or thoughts on who they think that you should be impact what you end up doing. So once you finish getting it all out on paper, you've written everything that you possibly can down, then you can go back and look for those keywords again. Look for where you've said you should or you have to, and then look for the things where you can see that are really positive and really high vibing. So I love, I'm excited, I want to, and just go from there. And then if worse comes to worse, what you can actually do is get a coin. And I know this sounds really weird, but hold into the end. Get a coin, go heads this, tails this, flip it, and note your thought. Because if it goes heads and you're like, I wish it was tails, you know that that is a great indication for the decision that you want to make, that you're just not ready to make the decision to make that decision. So I always find that if I am super stuck, I'm going to flip a coin, because I know that the outcome of the coin flip isn't what I'm really looking for. It's the thoughts and the feelings and my reaction to the outcome that's really going to help me. And my last piece of advice for you is that if you are really stuck and you are overwhelmed and you just have so much information in your head and you just legitimately do not know what is the right decision to make for you, then I feel that you're probably gotten to the point where you've been thinking about it so much that you just don't have a clear mind. You're going to make the right decisions and the best decisions when you have a focused mindset. So what I suggest is, if you've worked yourself up to the point where you are stressing over making a decision and you just feel really, really overwhelmed, which I've done in the past myself, is just to take a break away from it. If you can just take like some time out and either go for a walk by yourself or with a friend, or even just go to your local coffee shop and just take a moment where you're allowed to think about something else other than this decision that you're trying to make. Because you're not going to make a decision if you're feeling overwhelmed about having that decision to make. So just take a moment, take a breath, just be present in the moment, enjoy a coffee, enjoy a tea, or just get out in nature and just relax. Once you've been able to go out and just stop thinking about it for a moment in time, you'll be able to come back and you probably notice that you will just naturally make a decision. And I'm now at a point where I know what's right for me, and I have the confidence in making those decisions based on my thoughts and my feelings, and trying not to let external things contribute to my decision making. So you will get faster and faster at getting yourself in that zone. You just need to keep at it. But all of these things are things that I've used in the past and even still use to this day. I hope you did enjoy these tips. If you did, then please give this video a thumbs up so I know that you did like it. If you are new, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and tick that notification bell so you can get notified next time I upload. Anyway, take care. Have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world, and I will see you next time.